Hey, stupids. I'm Jason, and this is Rob. And
Hello, stupids.
hey, stupids. How are you? How are you, stupids? Uh,
Rob's positive. It's Saturday. I got my tunes on.
yeah, we're not even supposed to be doing a show today, but
I got my
we
60s
are
mug.
because he's got a diner mug, so he's extra cracked out. I decided that mine is like the
Crackered
honey
out.
pot that Winnie the Pooh gets fat on.
That's the one my art teacher had in high school. It's the same one.
This thing is ridiculous. It's super heavy. All
And I
my
used to get it confused with the jar you cleaned your paintbrushes in. And one time I was like, uh-oh. I didn't tell her.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to, but I also didn't want to get in trouble.
So today we up front we have Star Wars news. We have Star Wars news, and we have Indiana Jones news, and we have Max news. But we'll start with the Max news real quick after I save it, because after I put it up here on the screen, that is. So Max has a kitty family, right? It's like the Ewok village, but with cats. And what happened was some of the cats next door, or like her landlord's cats, something like that, got sick, right? And what the heck? I said to share. Oh no, never mind. I'm in a loop, you guys. I'm in a loop. But anyways, Max's cats, neighbor's cats, they actually died, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so Max has to get all of these cats, like a whole cat family that she's like fostering, that she takes care of. She has to get them all like vaccinated and immunized and taken to the vet, because what happened was, remember how a couple of days ago on the show she had a pipe break and then she couldn't show up to one episode, and because they were like fixing it and stuff. Well, it's kind of like, parvo, like it gets tracked on the ground, and then if they get it on their paws, they lick their paws and they get sick. And she had maintenance dudes coming over doing all this work, tracking mud in, she's having to clean the floors and stuff, I guess, like made like a whole thing about it. And so her cats are at risk, and so far I think the cats are okay, but she needs to get all this whole cat family who she takes care of. She has to get them basically vaccinated and immunized from it. So I mean, up front, look, where we got Mohawk, we got Rocky, we got some Gizmo, and we got Sansley. I don't know, but it's the mom.
It's the Kenner line.
In case you're wondering, Mohawk's favorite character is Grand Admiral Thrawn. Rocky, strangely, just a Wicket fan. Doesn't really like Star Wars, but is a big fan of Wicket. Gizmo totally loves Kit Fisto. And and don't mention Baby Yoda around Gizmo. Doesn't like the competition. Sansley?
That almost sounds like a commercial read.
The mom? Shmi Skywalker fan, right? But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Kekir,
Uncle Meat needs to be the new Star Wars name for Book of Boba Fett, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Favreau's playing Uncle Meep.
I mean, he's a good dad. He's there for his kids. He could have skipped town right now while things are going rough and there's disease and stuff. He could have just left, went on his own back to where he came from. But you know,
and his character won't let you forget it. Like every uncle, he reminds you, "I could have left town."
and he doesn't get. And
I didn't have to help.
Guys, Uncle Meep has a good heart, but honestly, is a member of the Phantom Menace. But let's show them a little bit of love.
Questionable voting.
Questionable voting. He's an uncle. What do you expect? And so this is what Max put on Facebook. Important friends, I normally would not ask, but I need some assistance. Today we learned that 2 outdoor kittens in our backyard had feline panleukemia. 2 died, and I buried them both in our backyard. This is like the parvovirus and very contagious and deadly. The vet highly recommended that I get all 6 of the cats tested and vaccinated immediately. Through Thrive Affordable Pet Care, the total cost of all 6 cats is $703, and I need to help cover the cost for an appointment by tomorrow. I can provide receipts to show proof of services. It would mean the world to me if you could help. My information is below. If I receive any overage, I will refund the money and post an update. I sincerely appreciate the help. Okay, so Max needs our help, you guys. And then this is the information right here of how you can help Max. I posted it on the Facebook page for Making Star Wars, and I posted it on the Twitter.com machine. So this very post right here, so you can see the stuff there. If it helps, you copy and paste. The new iOS for iPhones allows you to copy and paste from images, which is pretty nice. But yeah, so there you go right there. There's the info. I'll put it back up during the show in case it helps anybody. This is the definition of admiral, in case anybody's wondering. For some reason, when I went to go copy over the Grand Admiral Thrawn thing from the thing, it gave me the definition of admiral as the link. So, but yeah, but I just gotta say though, look at these little cat faces. Look at it. Look at even Uncle Meep. Uncle Meep
is the best.
Uncle Meep, you know what? You do one thing, but your actions say another thing. I'm just gonna throw that out there for Uncle Meep. Look at Mohawk. Please help me. My name is Mohawk. And then right here we got once again Rocky, Gizmo, and Sansley. I guess that's just the mom. We just call her mom around these parts because mom comes from another country. We don't really understand a lot of the old world, but she does, and boy, is she a good cook. But yeah. But look at that face. I'm a big fan of this guy right here. Of the dad. I could see why it got so much action to get so many kids, But anyways, yeah, so let's help out our buddy Max. Let's help her get her cats taken care of. It would mean the world if we can do something good with our Star Wars club here. And oh wait, here we go. All right, so actually before we get to the Illuminati stuff really quickly, hit on some Indy really briefly. And there's this stuff going on our message boards. So I guess the people who posted the photos of, how there were the photos of Indiana Jones and he's meeting Antonio Banderas with the kid, and he's got Phoebe Waller-Bridge with him.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, people who took those photos and could hear what they were filming heard Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character be called Sonia. So, yeah. So, if you believe past rumors, that would make her what? Sonia Brody? If it was Marcus Brody, that's what that one dude said. That one guy who.
And if she's a double agent, she's Red Sonia.
What is that guy's name?
Crossover.
Everybody's always mad at him for stuff. The guy who said that. Do you remember? What? No,
I don't.
No,
Jason.
He watermarked Spider-Man pictures or something.
Oh, Campia.
Campia said it was Marcus Brody's niece or daughter. Sorry, Marcus.
Well, he prefaces it all though with it's not a scoop. So
I don't even know what that means at this point. I don't understand.
But here's the scoop. I don't know. It's funny. It's
if it's right, if it's right, I told you, and if it's wrong, it wasn't a scoop. So what? Don't whatever. Okay, so that just means it's bullshit then. Cute. So it's not Marcus Brody. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything then.
When he watermarks it, it's definitely real.
It just means it can't be a theory. I don't know.
It's real when it's got a watermark.
Yeah, not trying to dogpile on him. I just don't follow the.
I'm not either. He's going to do his open spoilers thing today. I'm curious to see. He's been quiet about that. It's funny. The reason why it's funny is because he rightfully so for years would rail on people doing spoiler videos the night a movie came out. Not that you were talking about spoilers, but that people then take all that info, even if they haven't seen the movie, and they spam all of social media.
I had people who were going around and say, Jason Ward told me Jyn Erso dies and stuff like that when I never, I didn't say that or whatever, but to make people mad at me for them getting spoiled, Yeah.
And legitimately, he didn't think they were real. He thought they were Photoshoppy, which fine. I have no problem with that. What's funny is he watermarked them it's like right in the middle of the image. Like it's just the funniest watermarks you've ever seen. Like I want to do that to all my family photos now. Just slap it.
But yes, who it was Robert Rodriguez who wanted to do Red Sonja, right? That was who you were.
with
Okay.
Rose McGowan.
Okay. I was
After the John Carter thing fell through.
Yeah.
Like the John Carter thing was the what was that dude who was doing Captain's Tomorrow, Sky Captain, right?
Yeah.
And I think it might have gone to Rodriguez, or there was a rumor, but then that Red Sonja was the thing that came out of that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well,
I'm fuzzy on my whole ain't it cool news rumors, bro. Like there's a lot.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. No, because I was like, when I heard Sonya for Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character, I was like, oh shit, is that why? And then I was like, no, it wasn't Mangold. It wasn't Mangold. But yeah,
good Edgar Rice Burroughs drop though. I mean, Jones fits right in that category, especially if they're gonna go on some kind of like crazy adventure.
So if it's Indy's other daughter that he learns about then we'd have Sonya Jones. Yeah, I would personally just be if I get my wish out of this, she will be a former student of his who is now become him. You know what I'm saying? Just some new person, but who is the next Indiana Jones, if you will, at his level, was a former student. And then he's getting back into the field and he's supposed to be retiring. And then we kind of leave that movie knowing there's still adventures out there after Indy has retired. Because that seems to be the theme of this film, is that Indy retires. And then the little boy with the cool 1969, like little, like, I don't know, not a pompadour, it's like a little fro almost. They said that his name was either Jaime or Jaimex or something like that. I'm gonna guess it's Jaime. I mean, that Jaime makes sense. The other one, I don't think is even a name unless he's like a German, an illegitimate Nazi soldier's son who is hiding out in the fort. But that's way involved. It's Jaime. If the rumors are accurate. And that wasn't something just to make it seem legit. Like, I couldn't hear it. I heard Hymenex, but then I also heard Jaime, So but at the same time, from what I understand,
as soon as we get those Lego toy leaks, we'll know for certain.
Maybe
the Lego toy leaks always give the goods, my friend. My favorite is they go costume revealed for new Spider, and it's the Lego, and you're like looking at those painted.
Wouldn't it be cool if when it comes out, it's like Indiana Jones, and then it has Jaime, and it just says the boy, and it has Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and it says the skirt. even though she wears pants.
The dame. No.
The doll. Like, God, come on, guys,
hippie. Like, depends on the era here,
Wait, Max sent me an updated screenshot. Let me see what this updated screenshot has. Okay. So, important friends I would normally not at. Okay. I'm not. Oh, I think it has the Venmo on this one. Okay. Because that might be easier for some people to help with. So here, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to Admiral. Here's Admiral, a commander of a fleet or naval squadron. So in case you were wondering. Okay, I think this is the right image now. Boom. All right, there we go. All right, so right here, this is how you can help out Max right there. That's the Cash App, the Zelle, the PayPal, and the Venmo at Max-Zendo. That's how you have to say it every single time. Or Zandao. And in case you're wondering, also a market, the Zandao Jones. When it's up, it's up. When it's down, it's down. But right now, we need some kitty help. Okay. So I think I may have actually just lost. Yeah, I did it that time. I lost the link, dude. I messed it up. I don't have the link anymore to the Grand Admiral Thrawn story. It's gone. The day's ruined. Oh, I'm trying to pull it up right now. It's just hard to think when I'm on a live stream. All right, I found it. Rob sent it to me. Airdrop it in.
Saving the show again. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what you do. Okay. So now I have to share that again. And then we'll get on to this Grand Admiral Thrawn business. And date changed and different Zell. Oh man, Max, you're killing me. I already put all the stuff up. What happens if people sent to the original? Is it fine? Will it be okay if they sent to the original? I hope so. Okay. So yeah, but
FundMe helps too with these sort of things.
Okay, Ahsoka. So Star Wars fans have been hoping for live action debut of Grand Admiral Thrawn ever since Ahsoka mentioned him in the second season of The Mandalorian. When the Ahsoka series was later announced, rumors began floating around about the possible involvement for both Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger in the highly anticipated new series. Many fans have speculated that Ahsoka will be following the once Jedi as she and Mandalorian rebel Sabine Wren search for the missing Ezra and Thrawn, who disappeared in the series finale of Star Wars Rebels. Grand Admiral Thrawn is coming. We at the Illuminati. Sorry. We at the Illuminati have been digging into Ahsoka to try to find. Man, this is really hot. Grand Admiral Thrawn's coming. They're digging into Ahsoka. Try to find out details.
Let's see the page.
Let's see the page. You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me if I didn't show the page. I hate the system. It is designed to trick me, just so you guys know. Like I go share, and then it takes me into the page, and it doesn't put it on the screen. Why would they do that? Make me look dumb? You're trying to make me look stupid? Okay.
That's
so, I ain't stupid. I got brains. Grand Admiral Thrawn is coming. Okay, so I didn't just say that. That wasn't just me, like just being a weirdo like usual. They wrote that, and they're digging into Ahsoka. Okay, it's hot. Okay, so anyways,
don't be an Illuma jerky.
Yeah, right. Grand Admiral Thrawn is described as a Grand Admiral in the Imperial Navy, and unequivocally the most clever and calculated of the Emperor's followers. Thrawn is tall, strong, with a solid build, blue cock, blue balls, and pink asshole. He's a member of the Chiss alien species, meaning he is blue-skinned humanoid with glowing red eyes. Thrawn dons a white uniform befitting his rank.
See what happens when you fuck around with the Illuminati? Oh, wow, Jason. Today's the day, man. I'm telling you, today's the day. Crash the whole screen? Nope, it's just me. How you doing, folks? You want me to read this? Jason Crash. We'll see how long this leaves on. So how you like that Thrawnage, right? Like the little... You know, when you make fun of something, eventually it strikes back. I'm just letting you know.
How's it going? Fucking Joe Pesci, he took the show down. Joe Pesci, man. Joe Pesci, he got this little pencil out. All right. So all right. Okay, the second is good, all good. Okay. All right. So here we go. Thrawn was ultimately defeated by Ezra Bridger as the young Jedi sacrificed himself by calling the Purgle, stupid name, to take both himself and Thrawn. Isn't a Purgle like one of those like? Isn't that like a gazebo without a fucking roof on it? Anyways, to take both himself and Thrawn to the other side of the universe, across the universe. That's a good Beatles song. This effectively takes them off the board for the events of the original trilogy films, explaining their absence or their fucking quitters.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean?
Also
Maybe
not being invented yet had something to do with it, but sure.
I don't follow what you're saying, friend.
It was a long time ago. They always existed. What are you talking about? It takes in the past. Like, oh, okay.
Listen, Star Wars is very real, and it's very, very accurate and true. Just because you believe in legends that aren't true, don't step on the bridger, dude. Because you know what? The bridger will break, and then when the bridger breaks, fucking people fall, dog. All right. It looks like Ahsoka will succeed in her quest to find Grand Admiral Thrawn in the new Ahsoka series, which could potentially lead her to Ezra Bridger as well, which it definitely will. Ahsoka
so is the big story here the description of Thrawn? Just curious. Is that what we're talking about? I mean, because it's obvious. Okay, great. They just described Thrawn, but I suppose the take would be that, hey, they're not changing Thrawn either. He's not going to be like, and he got a giant gash in his head, and eventually he'll be Snoke. Because,
right.
Or the space whale time warped him into a deformed Thrawn, and then he turns into Snoke. Like, I could just, like, how the MCU people, hardcores want Mephisto to be in everything for some reason. I don't know why. Like, whoever cared about that.
Wait, we got Mephisto. We got Thrawn coming. What else we got? Everything sounds.
Thanks, Chatty. So
everything.
Thanks for that. Trying to put cream in my coffee here. What are you doing? So,
see, you're making it worse.
Making it worse. So, right. What did I say? Oh yeah, I keep waiting for them to figure out what Snoke used to be like, other than just taking the movies at face value, And I've been disturbedly anticipating the Thrawn is Snoke, thing, and it hasn't happened, thank goodness. But I could easily see, a group of people going, "He's really Snoke,"
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean,
the way I came back as Snoke.
I am making fun of that article because it has to be 300 words. They want to just give the info out. And then instead they gotta pad it to get that word count, like we always talk about. That's the fucking Google curse. That's why things have to suck, because of Google. But with that in mind, what we do get to take away from it is that if they aren't planning on changing the character, as you said, the character is very much going to be. Is that news? Not really. But it's confirmation, in case you were wondering, in case you were worried. And also, like I was saying, I can personally vouch that this is happening. Like so many times, quote, scoopers out there try to use other scoopers as primary sources, and it's not how it works. When you do that, you end up with
Disney Plus
Day, yeah, stuff like that, like that kind of thing,
and all that implies,
yeah, and not trying to we all get shit wrong. I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but that's literally what happened. Is on Disney Plus.
You can't manifest this stuff if you all just keep saying it's going to happen, and magically it's going to appear in something.
Well, like how it has to work is, when a friend at Disney comes and tells me, hey, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Hera, and the Ghost, and all those cats are coming into the Ahsoka show, and then they show me something, well, I'm convinced now. I'm ready to go. I got everything I need. I got a source showing me primary evidence. I'm good to go. But when I have a source who brings me, hey, Ezra Bridger's in it, in Ahsoka, and Thrawn, and they're building the Ghost, and then I'm like, okay, cool. He's all, yeah, but that's what I'm hearing. I work at Disney. I don't work at Lucasfilm, but I know from meetings and stuff that we talked about and stuff I see, I know. Oh, okay, cool. So now I'm like, okay, it's a little bit fuzzy. And then I have another source who comes to me and it's like, hey, yeah, I'm on the crew of Mando. Yeah, dude, we're going to be building the Ghost, man. It's going to be fucking crazy, dude. And then I'm like, okay, there we go. Ghost. The Ghost is in Ahsoka. I could say that. But if I go and Disney guy comes to me, hey, I'm hearing the Ghost is in Ahsoka. Okay, but doesn't work on it, any of that stuff. And then I asked Rob, hey Rob, what have you heard that the Ghost is in Ahsoka? And he goes, yeah, I've heard that too. Well, that's not a source. It doesn't count. You can't use it. You have to throw it out.
I'm not gonna say names, but I've been getting this from outside of the show about the whole Mace thing, and I'm like, you guys should just chill out on that Mace thing.
No one is saying that like Mace is in it. No one's claiming a primary source has said it. Everyone is. We are just simply saying that all of the arrows are pointing to that being the case there. But that's where you run into the problem. Like in a weird way, you kind of just got me where I wanted to go. So basically, like let's pretend right now a Disney source comes to me and says, "Hey, dude, I'm hearing Samuel L. Jackson's in a Star Wars project." I'm like, well, that means Mace. That's what I'm going to assume. But I still don't know he's Mace. He could be voicing, seven zip zag zig zlog, and it doesn't mean he's Mace. But I'm like, I think Mace is back. So then if I go to you and I'm like, hey, dude, you heard anything about Mace Windu being back? And you're like, yeah, actually I have, because people have been saying it, and you're going to say, yeah. So it's like the Mace thing completely tainted right now. Like honestly, I don't know how you actually move forward with Mace unless you have a primary source you trust, who you just knows for certain, and it's like it's money. You know what I mean? Like, but like getting it through like murky waters now, the Mace one's going to be a hard one to confirm and figure out. And I would say, based off of that, if they make Mace like the end thing, then okay, I guess you kind of have to play that game. But it like the post credits Boba scene, for instance, if that was to happen, they have to play the game, okay? But if that's not the case, if he's coming in the story in a much more organic, natural way, they shouldn't hide it because it's already a thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's just now it's okay, yeah, cool, it's confirmed, yay. You know what I mean? But yeah, and when it comes to like Grand Admiral Thrawn, like I've always said, man, like I'm excited that the dude's going to be in the show. Like I'm excited to see live action depictions of things that were oftentimes abstract ideas in my imagination and then were elevated to the cartoon level. But I'm also I'm excited to see how it turns out. I'm also a little bit like worried because books tell, they don't show, and this series has to show and not tell. And characters don't always work out coming at from the other angle.
I guess I'd be. Here's the thing, Thrawn. I'm one of the Thrawn cats, right? Love Thrawn, and especially
Thrawn Burgundy. You're a Thrawn Burgundy. So what's what they call
it? It was Oliver Vatine, the artist who drew him in the Heir of the Empire series, right? Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't like
brilliant illustration.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
I'm kidding. I'm just joking. I'm just being an
I don't want to say what you liked. You liked the Butthole Cat edition. So what am I?
Yeah, I like Star Wars tentacle corn.
You like
Toothy Sarlacc.
You like Toothy. I was gonna say you like Toothy Sarlacc. So damn it, Jason. So what did I say? I like Toothy Sarlacc. Always throws me off roads.
That art you did for it was fantastic. I updated the featured image for the one. Oh, it's art, friend.
It's art like NFT is art. You know what I mean? NFT.
It's worth burning some trees down for that one.
Let's sell that as an NFT. You know what I mean? Let's sell it. So, all right. We'll use it to help Max. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, the thing is, I'd be more excited if Tony Gilroy was writing this.
Yeah.
The problem is Filoni's writing it. And look, Filoni's gotten better, obviously, at the directing. Filoni has fun Star Wars writing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Filoni's like Game of Thrones, J.R.R. Martin.
Golden Age of television ready? You don't think he's Golden Age? He's not ready to go do Deadwood? Is what you're saying? Rome?
Calculating Sherlock Holmes, like clever things. Then again, They got a writer's room.
Boardwalk
I'm
Empire
hoping.
Strikes Back, maybe? No?
My hope is that, you know, they grab some of those Vince Gilligan writers in to help them craft a criminal, like, you know, like mastermind. Because again, Gus Fring in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is brilliant. Giancarlo, brilliant actor. Grand Moff Gideon,
Eh,
kind of one dimensional.
so
Good
far,
acting.
Grand Moff
Good.
Gideon hasn't had a chance to shine. He's been like, I'm on the floor. I have a dark saber. Baby Yoda, you're gonna try to throw stuff at me?
That, that
Yeah, it hasn't. I don't dislike the
it's
character at
literally a
all.
Dark Forces villain. It's a video game level writing, right?
Yeah,
You know
could
what I
be a
mean? Like it's
lot better.
fine, but it's not.
No
It's
depth at
not.
all. I don't know what he
No,
wants. I don't know why he's there. He's
right.
just a fucking asshole at this point.
And if that weren't that actor, if it was just some schmo off the street they gave their Star Wars chance, it would completely forgettable. You know, like
I'm even gonna throw it out there that it doesn't even matter right now that it's Giancarlo Esposito. It doesn't matter. It could have literally any off the street actor could have done the role. You didn't need one of the best people from Breaking Bad to come in and play that part so far because they haven't written him that part. They might.
it kind of reminds me of how they used to write, and not because he's a person of color, but the character Rhodey in the Iron Man movies was kind of a write off until around Civil War. You know, like they didn't know what to do with that character. Like the first Iron Man movie, I thought they did. You got a responsible guy, you know, next to an irresponsible idiot, but then it just turned out to be like that stern older brother role where you're like, he's just annoying, you know, until Civil War when you're like, oh, now this dude's got. Now I look forward every time I see. Like when he showed up in Falcon the Winter Soldier, I'm like, put more of him in this thing.
Yeah.
Why isn't Don Cheadle all over this place? You know, like he's comforting now. He's like a Louis Gossett Jr., you know, kind of like dad role, you know, like comforting. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, Filoni's not. And to be fair, I haven't, from what I've read, I read about the first half of the reboot Thrawn book that Zahn wrote. I
Okay.
didn't think he was all that great in there either. You know, like
Yeah,
could have been a flash in the pan moment with Thrawn.
Yeah, I could have read that, but instead I read Tales of Power. And
I told you I got through half of it, then I read Worlds of Power, and I was even more impressed. But you know,
um
Mega Man 2 has a deep character arc. You know?
but no, what I was gonna say was yeah, from what I understand, what I've been told and about the character is that they did change him to more of an anti-hero in the sense that he is trying to um fight off the what are they called? They're not the Yuuzhan Vong, they're the Grisk now. And they're trying to fight off the Grisk. He knows that there's more at stake. He wants to save us. So they gave the character at least something that like Esposito doesn't have. Like we don't know what Grand Moff Gideon's deal is. Like why is he the guy that he is? Like sometimes just being a sociopath is enough. And like Grand Moff
Yeah.
Tarkin don't really necessarily need to know like what his deal is, but he's also he is a career man at that point. The empire is established, it's stable, he's in the upper echelons of the galaxy, you know what I mean?
Well,
He has true power. But
from a
Gideon,
lore perspective, but I don't find Filoni writes lore. I think Filoni and them write to what they're creating at the moment. So the
yeah,
only motivation Gideon has is he wants the child, they want the child. So I could even easily see Dave and them going, well, no, see, they both want the same thing, but they go about it in different ways, you know, yeah, I get that, but again, the missing of the sequels is that you don't know the context of the whole galaxy. Like, what is there has to get us. He's not Gideon is to me like a proto Thrawn type character. He's supposed to be hyper intelligent with a bit of a lethal streak to him. I mean, he shows
yeah,
up in that one TIE fighter, blows the place to hell. He's got the dark saber, right? He's got all these dark forces troopers running around. You know, but we don't really. Okay, he wants the kid for what? Like at some point, especially in that second season, if as condensed as it was, one episode of Thrawn. I mean, of Gideon would have him and that doctor with the 70 shades. I love the 70 shades, by
Yeah.
the way. And the sideburns. I like it. I dig that a lot. And so, like, one thing, really, like, just give away their plan. It wouldn't hurt. It would help the whole series, at this point, to be one step ahead for us with the heroes and to know what the villain wants, other than I want the child at all costs. Because,
Well, no,
but I can see that's their take,
Well, no, I'm going to throw it out there that when I'm going into the third season of The Mandalorian. I don't know what Gideon's deal is. This is TV. You have all the time in the world. You do. I mean, you don't
12 hours.
I mean, you have as much time as you
9
need.
hours, 10 hours.
I mean, and so that's my big criticism of The Mandalorian itself. Is that, like, is there a mystery that we're chasing in the show? And there kind of is. And like Battlestar Galactica, when it was coming on, was one of the best shows I had ever seen until the end, when I realized I was largely the Cylons, and they have a plan. They didn't have a plan. The whole time there was no plan. It was just a trick. It was sleight of hand. It was a ruse. And it really kind of ruined the show for me. And then when they did they did Razor, and they put Razor in the theater, I went and saw it in the theater, man. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna learn what the Silence plan was. I'm like, that was the plan? I don't get it. I don't remember what the Silence plan was after they gave him a plan. But
NFTs.
Yeah. NFTs. Yeah. NFTs.
Yeah. Pyramid schemes.
PEASD.
Schemes.
Yeah. But and so yeah, when we are kind of like to a point with Mando and these series where I need to know, like, what the stakes are. I don't need implications. I don't need JJ Abrams mystery box bullshit. I need to actually know why I care. And
that's my fear with Thrawn. What you just said right there is that they will try and make him appear to be smart by giving him a mystery box. I have a plan. And they'll just allude to this thing that they're dragging out. He's not actually ahead of everyone or figuring things out. He just has this mystery thing that makes him appear to be smart. But in the end, you go, that's it. That's the thing he had figured out the whole time. So
yeah,
it's totally possible to write these kinds of characters. You just got to get the writers in the room. And I just think that's where Filoni needs to hire people way smarter than himself, like, seriously, like, not Bad Batch animation writers. They're fine, but, like, you need to bring in, you need to bring in cats that wrote, like, even Black Mirror and stuff. You know what I mean? You need to bring in some real top of the line, out of the box thinking, because otherwise it's the character in cosplay only at that point,
Well, like both Thrawn and Gideon, I need to not be checkboxed, if that makes sense. When I say that, I mean, I don't need, like, oh, he cares about his home world being attacked, checkbox, because that ends up being just like Padme. My people are dying, Senator. Nobody cared because they didn't make us care. They didn't show us that the people on Naboo were actually dying. It works in the name of getting the shit on the road, getting the show on the road, getting it moving. Totally works for that. But I don't think anybody would disagree that it showing the people of Naboo being put into camps would have made us care a little bit more about Padme's plight. Would have made it a little bit more real. And so if they just go like, oh, he wants to save his people, then it's like, well, I mean, that's I guess deeper than he wants, space cash, deeper than space cash. But what's the fucking difference to me at that point? Without, once again, visual medium, show, don't tell. And I have a feeling, or my fear is that they're just going to tell us oh my God, Thrawn is a tactician. He's playing 4D chess right now. And we're just like, what? He's playing 4D space chess? Like on the board with Chewbacca? Oh, no, like in real life. Oh, shit, really now?
Sunk my Star Destroyer.
Yeah, it has to be more. We definitely need it to be more than that. But I have to hope or think that Usually the books are a hell of a lot more shallow than the stuff that's going on screen. It will allude to what's going to be happening on screen thematically, and it's a shallow version of, hey, push this idea, push these ideas. Princess Leia is going to say hope a lot. Say that, okay? That kind of stuff. And so hopefully the Thrawn book alluding to giving him some kind of anti-hero availability is what I call it. Like, I don't know if I would call him an anti-hero exactly yet, but he wasn't that. When you read Heir to the Empire, that's not an anti-hero. That's just a bad guy. And then when you get to Star Wars Rebels, he seems like it feels a little bit like like in the 80s, like the rebels were Gutenberg, and he's like the headmaster of the school who's like, you guys can't be doing that on my campus. Like, that was literally the dynamic. Was an 80s movie, Gutenberg's versus the power structure. That's all that it was. I mean, it really wasn't very deep. Oh, I have taken your family's caliclory or whatever the fuck that thing is called. It's like, so you took a family heirloom. He took the fucking wall clock. He took the vase. Okay, now I understand all about your culture. And once again, a stupid concept. As somebody who loves anthropology and stuff like that, you can tell a lot about culture's values, but can you tell about an individual's values? No. That would be like, I could go to Donald Trump casino or hotel and go, I understand America now. No, you understand some of the worst of America. It
makes perfect sense in a universe that's designed from artwork, Jason.
Yeah.
You're trying to apply real world concepts to a galaxy that is created solely from a piece of concept art. So actually, in the context of Star Wars, it's the only series in which it makes absolute sense. You can tell a lot about the Naboo by their spaceships and their stuff, because that's how the Naboo were designed. They weren't written down in a Word doc and created, with an anthropological mindset. They were designed. Yeah. They were designed through artwork. So in this universe, he has just managed to tap into the concept artists behind. The wheels of the Force are really just they're Joe Johnston and Ian McKay and Doug Chang.
What I like if you're gonna go that way, then it needs to fold onto Thrawn. When you see Thrawn's office, it shouldn't look like the rest of the Death Star. You know what I'm saying? Because if Thrawn,
it wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to have different relics that were,
Well, it has relics that are like, here, I am trying to fuck over the coffee people. Look at this brown. This means they like shit. They like, oh, here, look, it's red right here. They like blood. I mean, if you're going to extrapolate, I think it needs to run both ways for Thrawn. And I do agree with you. I mean, what you're saying is true, but I think it's true tacitly. Like we see Leia in white. She's wearing white. She's a good guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that. It is like that shallow and that stupid. But once you verbalize it and you make it a way that, what's that?
It's not what I said at all. I said, if you look at the design of Alderaan, you can get a sense of their culture, because their culture came from the artwork that was originally designed for Alderaan. Mm-hmm. Like, in Star Wars, it just makes sense. Like, this idea makes sense in Star Wars because the entire world is always designed through artwork.
Right.
Not in their world, in our world, that their Star Wars is designed through artwork, so you can infer everything through artwork in their universe.
See, I feel like in verbalizing it, though, which Thrawn does, and in doing so, it kind of it does expose the shallowness.
Yeah, but that's the Sherlock Holmes powers of observation, babe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, there's nothing wrong with turning Holmes into a bad guy.
I actually Sherlock Holmes drives me crazy too, for the record.
I could tell.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like. I like being able to follow a mystery in which I can participate in, but not one that manipulates the evidence as in to make it where there is absolutely pretty much no way you could get it right. And you're like, oh my God,
you should read Arsène Lupin.
What?
You should read Arsène Lupin.
What's that?
That was the Gentleman Thief, the French knockoff of Sherlock Holmes, who even goes up against Sherlock Holmes in the third book. It's he's great.
Reminds me of when I had a teacher in, I think it was 7th grade, and I didn't want to read. I was not in the mood, and she said, "Jason, I'm going to change your life." I said, "Really now?" "Yes. I'm going to send you to the library right now with a pass, and you're going to get The Lord of the Rings. And when you read it, I promise you're going to love it, and I know you, and it's going to change your life." And I said, "Okay." So I went there. I'm like, my teacher said to get a Lord of the Rings kind of book. I go to the Lord of the Rings section, all the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbits there. There was a spoof book about, I don't remember what it was called now, but the character's name wasn't Bilbo, it was Dildo. I said, "Hi, his name is Dildo," and I took that one. And I come back, my teacher looks at me just like, "Fuck you. Just fuck you. I want to quit right now." Mhm. But yeah, we had a book, we had a Lord of the Rings book in school with a character named Dildo, and that's all I was looking for.
I remember in the second grade being really weirded out by missing limbs, right? And
Uh-huh.
so when I saw like the Hobbit, the first time I saw was that Hobbit cartoon where he's missing his finger in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, can't watch this, freaks me out. Like when Luke got
Really?
his hand cut off, freaked me out when I was a kid. My
Good thing
aunt
good thing you
was
didn't see
born
that
with
guy
half an
fooling my
arm,
mom with only
and
one leg. That would have really fucked you up.
yeah, well, I look, it's a bias I had to get over. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's totally irrational, but as a 7-year-old kid, it just
Yeah, when
my
you're a
aunt
kid.
was the one who was like, look, people are, she had to like work with me, but there was a weird bias. I mean, naturally so. You as a little kid, you're like, can I lose a finger?
Yeah.
Am I gonna lose my hands? So that ring scared me because I was like, you can lose your finger. As an artist, I can't
Yeah,
afford
and
that.
when I was an undergrad, I got to take a grad class in ethnography because I was pretty good at it, and so I got invited to take this grad level ethnography course, and so I'm like in there, and one of the things that they had to teach or that my professor was teaching us about were amputees, people who weren't amputees but felt that they were. Like there's like people who's like, this guy's like, "I just feel like I should not have an arm. It's there. I don't want it here. It shouldn't be here. I don't know why it is, you know?" And it was really hard for people to understand, like when you're doing anthropological work, you're not supposed to judge that and tell them they're wrong for it, or you're supposed to just understand it and explain it. That's like your only gig, you know? And boy, do people have a hard time with that stuff sometimes. It was
Hard to be a Vulcan.
what's that?
It's hard to be a Vulcan. Even Vulcans have it difficult to remove emotion from you know
Yeah.
any form of. It's one of the better ideas for race of species who are trying to the idea of removing emotion. And even they can't do it very well half the time. Like, but it's
Yeah.
interesting concept. Um, yeah. So again with Thrawn, I mean Mickelson's playing him, right? Like,
No.
no,
I mean,
I thought Mickelson was cast as Thrawn.
no.
Guess I'm
See,
wrong then.
so I'm not saying, I shouldn't say no. I should say that
Not confirmed.
that is not confirmed. And I'm gonna throw it out there. If that was true, why is this casting piece going around?
Oh, that's a good question.
If it
It
and
has
if
something to
it,
glean from that article that we hadn't initially thought of, right? Like,
yeah,
why would there be a cast? Because a lot of the Illuminati stuff, I assume, comes from casting calls, right? Because it
casting
reads
grids.
like a casting.
They're called casting grids. I don't
Okay.
know the Illuminati, but my analysis of what they've put on there, what I have access to, I'm pretty sure it's casting grids across the board. And I
Nothing
followed
wrong with
them
that. They
heavily
go out.
for Interview with the Vampire stuff. All of that was casting grids, and yeah, so that's what makes me think that it's not like, once again, is it a primary source, I suppose, but it's not like a source. It's not like somebody at Lucasfilm going, "Hey, Illuminati, I'm hearing Thrawn." It sounds like it's more like, "Hey, we're trying to cast these roles," and they're either figuring out who the roles are, making assumptions of who they are, or it literally just says Grand Admiral Thrawn. It could really be that blunt. It's possible, but I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm looking forward to Indiana Jones and Rick Jones. There you go, Rick Jones. So, he's just got a million of these, bro. And I'm like, Indiana Jones and Rick Jones. There's the movie. You know,
Johnny says you need that level of visual exposition with Star Wars, or the entire movie would be exposition through dialogue. There'd be no time for anything else. Yeah, that's what I don't like about sci-fi. That's why I should say I don't like Dune. That's why I don't have the patience for Dune right now. You know?
Well, beyond the patience is what I was trying to tell you, man. There's things I see in these Marvel movies, visually speaking, that are impressive, great set pieces. But if they were always superhero landings, like spaceships landing in sci-fi movies, you know, you'd get old real quick, bro. You know, like it can't just superhero landing. Like that's why it was great when Deadpool made fun of it, right? Like,
am I gonna get killed if I say that like Shang-Chi's exposition really? I can't get into it. I've only watched like the first 40 minutes of it, and there's like it gets like all slow in motion, and I'm like, oh my god, can we get to the story, please?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a fantastic film. So
yeah, it's too slow.
You like the green. You like weird stuff, bro. Like,
I do.
You know, like that. You don't
I like weird stuff. I like faster, more intense, and weird stuff. If it's going to be slow, it's got to be really.
She's pretty faster and intense.
Is it? You think so?
Yeah, it is. It fucking is. I couldn't finish Dune. If it was a sloth fucking movie, I'd turn the fucking thing off and go literally play Psychonauts 2 for another couple hours.
No, I mean. Shang-Chi
it really is compared to Dune. Are you out your freaking mind?
You compared it to Dune, not me. I'm saying they're both slow.
But you know, you started off saying like Dune, slow. And then you're saying also Shang-Chi's slow. It ain't Dune, bro. Like that is ridiculous. Come on,
it was slow.
The Eternals might be. I haven't seen it. Like but
slow is a spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Don't use emotion with me. So you need to not judge. Let's get out of here with that. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So, what were we talking about? I don't know.
Have you ever watched Twin Peaks?
Yeah, it's the only thing I like out of that.
Twin Peaks has become a bit slow for me too, though. Like it being 90s television, you know, it's a bit slow.
But then you could say pacing is crazy because I always think people sometimes think pacing and editing film has to do with like cuts. I'm gonna cut like a music video. That's a music video. Movies generally, the cutting should, the idea, frame around the character's POV, what they're feeling.
Joss Whedon's Marvel movies, they just like float cameras around and shit.
They're hollow. Yeah. The people go, the Avengers is the best one. I'm like, that is a tough opening to get through the first Avengers film. It wraps up perfectly, but that opening with the thing, I don't know what we're watching. You know, it's super tough. But that's the general idea, is that when you're cutting through the character's POV, so you're feeling what and experiencing what they're feeling in that moment is the idea. So if it moves slow, if it moves fast, it's because that's how that character is experiencing it. But when you end up with Michael Bay shots where it's just like, I don't know what the hell. That's why there's that disconnect, because you know that isn't what the characters are feeling. Why the director's now showing me what they can do, you know,
I feel like the Michael Bay movies actually push the emotions back into my mouth and my butthole.
But this is like to bring it back to this though, where I could say Filoni has shown improvement in the 2 episodes of live action he's directed, is I felt none of that with the first thing he directed on the season 1. I just felt like Filoni filming something. Yeah. But the Ahsoka episode, like when she's out on that, you know, the terrace with the sabers and that whole 100%, and even the Michael Biehn character, I thought there's a character who died way too fast, man. Like that, always bring Michael Biehn back, you know. He's so good. Like him versus Cobb Vanth would have been that's like you gotta bring him back. Like him versus Cobb Vanth that's the freaking Rangers. There's your bad dude, you know, your Deadwood showdown, you know, like That's the real shame of that one, is they killed him off. Like
Yeah, early Clone Wars was kind of that way too. Like they would kill, they make up something, make up somebody cool, and then they would get an arc. Then they were dead. It's like bye, and it's like no, don't. Oh, but yeah, that is kind of we do need more of these characters seemingly wounded. It's kind of funny because it makes me mad when we have Bad Batch and we have everybody getting stunned and nobody's dying. It makes me mad when you put Michael Biehn in there and you kill him in one episode. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
stunned, but he's dead.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't remember. I don't remember exactly his death, but maybe he won't be dead. I think
the cool thing about the MCU is that they do have that weird. They have a different tone for everything. Like Loki is totally different than Spider-Man or Shang-Chi. Like that's what's great. And I do think that Star Wars TV is where they really got to keep pushing the envelope on what is Star Wars, and right down to like the theme song to Mandalorian. Like there's new Star Wars music that's not just aping John Williams, like it's very Bill Conti, but who and Good, Bad, and the Ugly, but that's great, like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, Michael Biehn, man, like. Man.
Yeah,
it was so good.
What do you call it? Like one thing to, so I go both ways on this like line of thinking. You'll hear like it's kind of a dumbed down version of it, but there's also a better version of it. And the dumbed down version is Dave Filoni was George Lucas's protege. That means he's gonna be really fucking good. And it's like, you know what? It honestly doesn't mean that. You have all kinds of amazing academics who don't actually make academics anywhere near the level that they were. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily equate to that. But the one thing to remember is that Filoni's done a ton of good work, great work, and he's done some passable work under really shitty situations where some people would have just walked Josh Trank and took in a dump on the middle of Star Wars Rebel. He didn't do that. He made it. He still like loves Star Wars enough to make it work. And so that's important. But also when he was working over his career working on Star Wars, like Walter Murch did Clone Wars episodes, and he was the guy running the show. So he has more of a Star Wars education from people than just George Lucas. In a weird way, he is like the only person who's gone to an actual Star Wars university, because he's worked with so many of the people who worked on the original stuff, you know what I mean, over the years. And there's tons of them. And through all of the different eras of Lucas, and he's a big nerd fan, so he definitely was listening and picking up on stuff. When he jumped to live action, the first episode that he did in live action, it wasn't the end of time. It wasn't the end of Star Wars. It also was maybe the least impressive of the live action television stuff so far. But then when he came back into the Ahsoka one, he jumped up.
Right, but on that thought, that Star Wars needs to have room to not be the greatest fucking thing ever.
Yeah,
like Marvel has that space. They've put out some stuff where you're like, I don't know if that was the best, but they can iterate. And unfortunately, with Star Wars, because we've gotten that culture of, and Lucasfilm didn't help it, one last time, the only thing you're ever gonna get.
Let me tell you about the time the Star Destroyer flew over my head when I was a kid. I came for the first time. I got puberty right then, and I just started.
You know what was one last time? Fucking Freakazoid. All right. It was one and done, bro. We're never getting more of that. Well, next year we get a Freakazoid.
Seriously, dude, the last time I shit my pants was when he said, "No, I am your father." I shit my pants right then in the theater right then. I was so blown away. You know what? Nobody even cared. You know why? Everybody else shit their pants too. We all shit our pants at this. It was disgusting, but it was the best day in the movie theater of all. Yeah, they definitely push those ideas, and then you're right. It doesn't allow us to get us.
I found myself sexually when a Minoc humped the Falcon window.
Yeah, George Lucas shoots that same Minoc in the opening of the show. Yeah,
it got to me. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, yeah. No, you're not wrong. We do like Star Wars Visions is sort of, not that they were trying to make it bad or not good or whatever, but that's like one of their little Star Wars tippy toes going over into something else and being like, what happens if we go over here a little bit? And
It's brilliant, actually, in that they were able to do all that, and that's they need to triple down on that and stop with 16 episodes of Bad Batch. Like
yeah.
that needs to stop, because that's not going to help. It just drags
Well,
more of the Star Wars we've already gotten. It's more of the
yeah.
since 2007 or 8. Like it's like that's 12 years of the exact same thing needs to, like, you gotta evolve, you know?
Yeah. Well, what the what I think what we end up with is sort of maybe a resources issue to some extent. Like, you're not going to have Dave Filoni making Bad Batch if he's making Mando, he's making Ahsoka. So the cartoons are on to different people, but also I think that they are serving a completely different revenue stream than they used to. It used to be, this is the only place where Star Wars is alive right now, and we also need to make merchandise, and there you have it. Well, when you get to today, those things provide toy opportunities, and they provide a gateway for children to get into like Star Wars, and that's pretty much it. They're not really taking huge storytelling opportunities. They
Except we
might.
live in a world where they only produce action figures and no vehicles. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah.
Action figures with no vehicles making no sense to Rob. It
Yeah.
making no sense. You got to put the figure into the vehicle, and then they don't make them. And then they're like, well, toy sales were down because women don't sell. How about this? You give us a vehicle, we'll buy any fucking figure you want. Shove them all into that Falcon and fly them around.
Well,
That's
that's the thing is the price point. I'm a parent, and when they put out like the last Falcons, I bought them, and the Falcon before was too expensive to get for a child. The Falcon after was expensive, bought it, and it was not a good toy. It was a cheap, like the Solo A Star Wars Story Falcon, piece of shit. Not a fun toy. My kid got over it very quickly. It wasn't good.
There
And
has to be a way they could, like, here's the move. There has to be a way that you could design a vehicle like Lego setup, not Legos,
yeah.
but something where they're like, here's all the pieces and you could make your ship out of this. You know what I mean? Like, you could get enough to make a Star Wars ship that would fit our action figures.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh.
like somewhere between a model, like a snap together model, and a toy, so it's durable, that you could put your figures and play with. But there has to be a way to do that. We have the, it's fucking 2021.
Yeah.
We're 6 years past Back to the Future too. Certainly, some genius could figure this out.
There was I can't remember. We were looking at Target.com and Star Wars stuff or whatever. I was trying to look up stuff for my kids for Christmas, see like what they wanted. And as we're like going through all of the stuff, he's just like, he wasn't interested in getting a Mando costume. He has one for Halloween. And I said, why? I said this one's better than the one he got for Halloween, and you could play in it more. And he's like, well, in VR chat, I have the whole Mando costume, and it shoots out fire. VR chat. His free Mando costume. Putting that on it does the same thing for him that wearing the costume physically does for him. It's kind of weird, but I get it. I get where kids are coming from today, and it's like, when we were kids, we had to play with a four-legged AT-AT walker and put our figures in it, and that was our experience. My kid's playing in an AT-AT in VR chat. Like, he's playing in an AT-AT. He's shooting other kids in an AT-AT. And he's having the time of his life. And so it's like, we are in a weird place.
That's where I say, for me,
yeah,
the $1 billion fucking untapped potential as action figures in VR.
Yes.
Like, literally take all the action figures, animate them, get the toys, let me pick up the fucking toy, put them in there, and RTS battles with the toys. you know, in VR, to me, is the $1 billion, like,
I
it solves all the problems of manufacturing. It covers the game thing, the hardware, like,
would even saying like a Star Wars park, a V, like I don't know what you call it. I'm not marketing the shit. But basically, if they made a Star Wars game that was the equivalent of a Star Wars park for kids, where yeah, you do have your AT-ATs and you could be stormtroopers and you guys could go fight and you could play and you could be in the Ewok village and explore and stuff like that, it would be huge. It would be huge. It would be huge with older people who don't like Twitch gaming, and it would be huge with kids who like to role play. You know what I mean? And I guess some adults too.
yeah, the coolest part of the first time I popped open that Vader's Quest thing, you know, was, that's what I call it. It's not the name.
Vader Immortal.
Yeah, it's Vader's Quest, because, you know,
Vader Quest is Vader Quest was a reality show in the Star Wars universe, and Wedge Antilles lost the second season. Everybody laughs at him because he shit his pants at the end. He learned that he was Luke's father, and then he shit his pants because we all did. You guys were there.
Yeah, we took a Lawson, which is a common thing that was said on set. So he what? Yeah, Kurt dropped a Lawson on the set of Dark Crystal.
Star Wars Jeopardy
no,
right
it's
now.
when the Skeksis dies, Kurt's dropped a Lawson right there. That's where, that's when he melts. It's actually because he dropped a Lawson on set.
Who was Jamie Lawson, Rob?
Jamie Lawson?
Jamie Lawson.
From Lawson Store?
No, come on. Do you know Jamie Lawson?
Not offhand, no.
Small Wonder. The brother on Small Wonder. Remember that little fucker? Oh, I wanted to kick his ass. But I as a small kid, I had such a crush on the robot. I was like, man, robot.
Well, here's how visually I was at that age. Her dress reminded me of the strawberry parfait at the KFC. Yeah, now, because I have a fat kid inside of me, every time I see Small Wonder, I want a strawberry parfait from the KFC. When we go to KFC, I want to watch Small Wonder with my strawberry parfait. Like, it just, and to this day, 30 something years later, I haven't let it go.
Definitely. But all right, well, we went for an hour. Let's once again, let's reiterate Max. Let's tell everybody once again about Max's thing in case anybody didn't see the beginning of the show. Max's kitties are in danger. We need to help them if we can. I know it's the holiday time. That's what makes this harder for everybody. But if we could help, it would be great. And Max writes, important friends, I normally would not ask, but I need some assistance. Today we learned that 2 outdoor kittens in our backyard had feline panleukemia. 2 died, and I buried them both in our backyard. This is like parvovirus and very contagious and deadly. The vet highly recommended that I get all 6 of my cats tested and vaccinated immediately. Through Thrive Affordable Pet Care, the total cost for all 6 cats is $703. I need help to cover the cost for an appointment by Thursday, 12/23/21. I can provide receipts to show proof of services. It would mean the world to me if you could help. My information is below. If I receive any overage, I will refund the money and post an update. I sincerely appreciate any help. Then Cash App is $Max Zando. Zelle, msw1pt@gmail.com. PayPal, madstarwonder@aol.com. It's an older account. It's AOL. It's vintage. And Venmo @Max-Zando. So please, if you can help Max out, it would mean the world to us and to Max and to the kitties. And I want everyone to consider, if you've ever seen the great song Kitty History, you'll know where I'm going with this. Check it out if you haven't. But in an alternate dimension right now, the kitties are doing a fundraiser for you. Because in an alternate dimension, you're the pet. They're the owners. Think about it. Think about it. But and if you don't do it, if you don't help, then it means the cats aren't helping you in the alternate dimension. So pet you, it's not so good for you. So anyways, but thanks to everybody for hanging out with us today, and to everyone who can help out Max's kittens. It means a lot to us. And we will probably be back never. This last show. Decided right now. No, I'm kidding. We'll be back on Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, unless some news breaks. It turns out there's a casting call for stormtroopers. They're going to be white
I'm not
with
doing
black
that.
headbands.
We can wait till Monday. We can wait.
And
I'm not doing one for a 15-second Boba Fett spot. It's not happening.
Gamorrean guards are being cast. They're green pigs.
Fuzzy underwear, slightly thinner than before. We know.
Yeah, but
can we do a casting call for the remaining 30 minutes of the Boba Fett episode? So we can get an idea what that is. All right. Okay.
But yeah. So we will we'll be back then. And thanks to everybody for helping Max out. It means a lot. We'll see everybody on Monday.
It's not about spaceships.